5 with 10 hits in the middle of this order can produce some power as well. So up and down, this is going to be a tough matchup for Cademan Parker here tonight.
Yeah, you talk about Cademan Parker as he gets set to go here, his third Friday night start in this slot for the Horned Frogs. And we just touched on it, but picked up his first win of the year against Michigan last week. Went 6 innings in that one, gave up 8 hits, scattered the 3 runs. The Horned Frogs offense was able to pick him up from that regard. But you know, with Cademan Parker, the big jump from last year to this year has been the mental side of the game. He's really embracing that Friday night starter role of one of the more experienced arms on this Horned Frog staff now, especially with the turnover. Dave Long, Kirk Sarlos looking for a big start against a great offensive you just touched on with Southern Miss.
You got to look at the brain trust for the Horned Frogs in the TCU dugout. I talked to Kirk Sarlos before the game about this matchup, and he said, you know, this is perennially a team that is in postseason. Obviously, they have gone as far as the Super Regional. He said it's just a matter of time before they take that next leap, and that they really are a ball club that's poised to make that jump this year.
Yeah, there's a class of those teams, right? And it's Southern Miss, it's your East Carolinas, it's your Dallas Baptists, those teams that have made it to Super Regionals that have just not quite yet punched through that ceiling. They're right there, and we just touched on it. They hosted Super Regionals in 2022 and 2023, the same year that the Horned Frogs were last in Omaha. So this team's right there, and this has the feeling of a postseason type of weekend early on in the season.
Joey Urban will lead things off for the Golden Eagles here to start the ball game. The center fielder for Southern Miss here tonight. And the first pitch of the game from Cademan Parker is chopped on the ground. One hop right at Colton Griffin, and on one pitch, there's one man retired.
Well, that's what you're looking for. Any good offense like this, they're going to be swinging early, hunting fastballs and good strikes. And Parker in the past, when he's gotten into trouble, it's because it's all been elevated. Against a great hitting team like this, you've got to live below the belt, around the knees is where everything that Parker's looking to throw.
Ozzie Pratt, the shortstop. Up now with 1 out, bases empty. Now one over but low for ball 1. Strike call from home plate umpire John Brammer. He's calling the balls and strikes tonight. The senior hitting .375. He's got a homer, 9 runs batted in. He's also got a stolen base. The Golden Eagles don't steal a whole lot of bases. The one thing they don't do a lot of, just 5 out of 6 so far in the early part of the season through their first 9 games. They bring a 7-2 record into tonight's contest. Got off to a 7-0 start, lost their last couple of ball games. And that hits Pratt in the foot. He'll go down to first base.
Yeah, you could really see the bite on that breaking ball from Cademan Parker, one that he just gets around a little bit too much. And 1-2, obviously, you hate to let a guy go like that, but we'll get the chance to see now what the Southern Miss offense, how they're going to operate. This is a team, as you just mentioned, not going to steal a ton of bags, but they're going to stand back and they're going to hit. They're going to trust their big bats that you've got when you get into this middle portion of the lineup now.
Second hit batter for Parker this season. First pitch fastball. Call strike. Davis Gillespie, the left fielder at the plate. Team leader in home runs. Parker chases a runner back. Pratt does have a stolen base, 1 for 1 on the year. Looked like it might have been a little bit on the high side, leaving the count at 1-1. On the ground, that's a foul ball, not by a whole lot. Gillespie making a bid for an extra base hit there down the third base line.
Could have been trouble. Very similar to the swing that we saw from Joey Urban to get the game started on the first pitch. Just tugged on a little bit too hard. Second straight count now that Caden Parker's up 1-2.
Gillespie got around on a 93+ mile-an-hour fastball there. Let's see if Parker can finish him off with the 1-2 pitch. Chopper. Cadena makes a great play, goes to second for one, throw to first, not in time. What a nice play by Isaac Cadena over at first base. Able to elevate and then still had the presence of mind to get the runner out at second base.
Yeah, as the first baseman, when he's holding the runner on here, really cuts down on the amount of field that you have to play with. But great reaction from Cadena, as you said, climbing the ladder and then navigating the base runner, Pratt, who's in that line. Throw on the run, very tough to turn that 3-6-1 double play anyways, let alone a play like that. Well done by Isaac Cadena at first base for the Horned Frogs.
Carson Pato, the right fielder, steps in now with the runner at first, 2 away. And that hits him in the back. Now 2 hit batters here in this inning for Caden Parker. That pitch just looked to get away from him.
Yeah, and on the exact same pitch that he tried to go to Ozzie Pratt earlier, where it hits him in his back foot. It's that breaking ball that Parker still just tugs on a little too hard. So far, those left-handed hitters not comfortable with that pitch, and we saw him struggle with it a bit last week against Michigan in his start as well. Really fishing to find that breaking ball.
Nick Monaster at the plate, takes ball 1. Opportunity here for Southern Miss to take an early lead with runners at first and second, but it'll take a 2-out base hit.
Yeah, it will be interesting to watch Parker navigate this. You see him just throw a third breaking ball in that same exact spot. Had it been a left-handed hitter, it hits him again.
Able to bring that one down. Pretty good pitch that time to even things up at a ball and a strike.
And you can see he's trying to work back over. 3 straight sliders now for Parker on that glove side.
Monaster has a couple of home runs this year. Went downstairs with a fastball, but missed. Now 2 balls and a strike here on Monaster with a couple of men on base, 2 outs. TCU playing the infield back, the outfield playing straight away. That one right off a home plate, came back up and hit Monaster. They're leaving things up with 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And that's Nick Monaster, the junior second baseman, being a little over-aggressive there. Everything's been away from you, trying to pull that fastball that, again, was on the outside part of the plate now, 2-2.
Got to look at the numbers for him, a .290 batting average. Got him swinging in a pitch that was elevated. Looked like a breaking ball, but it was up. And Monaster. Colton Griffin leading things off. That one back to the backstop. You know, Griffin doesn't have great numbers in terms of his batting average. Only has 1 extra base hit, but he figures out ways to get on base. His on-base percentage right around the 500 mark all year. This one hit in the air foul down the left field line. That'll make it all the way to the player development center down there. That's what you want out of your leadoff guy, regardless of what your batting average may be. Draw some walks, get hit by a pitch, whatever you got to do to get on base. Fisted foul.
You see these back-to-back pitches now, 95 and 96 at the top of the strike zone for J.B. Middleton. And when you've got a fastball that has that type of ride, it's really going to play harder than that to some of these hitters. Griffin fouling off these last 2. We'll see if Middleton tries to lower the eye level going down.
On the ground, right at the second baseman, Nick Monaster, and Monaster retires Colton Griffin for the first out here in the bottom half of the first. Let's take a look at the defensive alignment for Southern Miss tonight. Gillespie, Urban, and Pato across the outfield. Smith and Pratt on the left side of the infield. Monaster just made that play. And Russo on the right side, along with the catcher tonight, Lawson Odom. Isaac Cadena takes ball 1. We highlighted Cadena when we looked at the starting lineup a moment ago, and Connor, he's really done a nice job of just blending right into this TCU offense, transferring in from Ohio State, and has really been the most consistent Horned Frog.
Yeah, it's been impressive to see him work so far, and really you've seen a little bit of everything. He's got the 3 home runs that leads this Horned Frog club, but also has a .513 on base percentage right now through the first 8 games.
On the ground, that's going to get through the right side. And he finds a hole on the right side of the Golden Eagle infield and picks up another base hit for himself.
Yeah, and he's just going to continue to be that Swiss Army knife. We've seen him hit for contact. Obviously, the power's been there. We've seen him do it to the pull side. We've seen him line balls into the left center field gap. Isaac Cadena so far making his name known in that Horned Frog lineup.
Cole Kramer will step in with a runner at first base, 1 away. Takes a fastball off the plate for ball 1. .290 for Kramer with a couple of home runs. They came out in San Diego on opening weekend. A couple opposite field home runs for Kramer. Swing and a miss. He had a healthy cut at that high fastball. Well, Bill Mosiello, talking to the hitters, was saying if the ball's up there, it's going to appear to be rising. And it's the pitch you really have to lay off. The only problem with that is it looks so good. Good pitch, and it's 1-2. Is that one a fastball at the knees? In the dirt, gets behind the catcher, Odom, and that's going to allow Cadena to race to second base. Looked like a pitch that Lawson Odom probably should have corralled.
Yeah, you get a look at the pitch here. Almost looks like it's just in between for Odom. Doesn't know if it's going to hit the ground in front or if it's going to just go cleanly into his glove. That's the breaking ball from J.B. Middleton. It's a really tight slider that it comes in 89, 91 miles an hour. So it's firm and it's got very tight spin.
Foul back, again a high fastball. It's a pass ball, by the way, on Odom that allows the runner Cadena to advance into scoring position with only 1 out. Bottom half of the first inning of a scoreless ball game, but TCU threatening. Get a good look at Odom there. And again, a foul on a high fastball.
And you've seen the constant theme of those fastballs that have been up in the zone through the first 14 pitches or so. Analytics coming into play when you've got the spin rate and the ride like Middleton does on the fastball. It's a weapon up there near the letters.
Again, it's in the dirt, gets away from the catcher Odom to throw down to third, not in time. Yeah, we're talking about Isaac Cadena. That's just baseball IQ. That ball was not far away at all from Odom, and yet he's still able to hightail it to third.
No, and you've got to be committed as soon as you make that decision. Odom really doing a nice job behind the plate of keeping that in front of him, but there's zero hesitation from Isaac Cadena on this. You see, it looks like the throw actually beats him there. Third baseman Seth Smith just not able to apply the tag as Cadena's in with the head first slide.
It's a wild pitch. This one is looped down the right field line, but it's going to slice into foul ground. So a pass ball and a wild pitch, and TCU's got a runner at third base. Only 1 out and a chance to break out on top. And if you're Cole Kramer, you're just looking for something you can get to the outfield or even to one of the middle infielders. They're playing back here, so the Golden Eagles will give up a run early in this game in exchange for an out. Ball 4, and that's a pretty good at bat by Kramer. It doesn't look much more than a walk in the scorebook, but he really battled Middleton hard to get that walk.
Well, it's a nice job of seeing a lot of pitches too, because now you've already got the pitch count up near 20. Talked about how it's been a clean start to the year for Middleton. No real adversity yet so far in the young season, but this first and third situation, one that TCU and Bill Mosiello offenses really convert at a high rate on.
Carson Bowen will be the batter. Well, the Southern Miss team got off to its best 9-game start since 2020. Of course, that year cut short by COVID, foul back. Good swing by Carson Bowen. Bowen got off to a little bit of a slow start, but he's really come on since the opening game of the year. 385 batting average with a home run. Home run, of course, an inside the park home run. Good take by Bowen as he laid off that high fastball. No ball and a strike on Carson Bowen. Throw over to first base and Kramer back. Kramer does have a stolen base in 3 tries. The Horned Frogs are 12 out of 17 and stolen bases so far this year. They will run, especially with a guy like Kramer over at first base. You can see the lead he's got. Off the end of the bat, foul, and Bowen's behind in the count now. 1-2 strikes.
Now, so far, a couple of foul balls back, but Bowen has picked the 2 right pitches to swing at. Those are the ones that are frustrating as a hitter when you get the fastball that you want early. This one was a slider that was a bit elevated, and you saw it really flatten out there. Just had a bit of side-to-side spin. And 1-2 as a hitter, you know you've got to protect against that elevated fastball, and you know if you see anything with spin, you've got to see it over the plate.
Took that one down low, and a good job by Middleton to put, to change the eye level. He was up on the pitch before and now down, trying to get the swing and the miss from Carson Bowen. So both Bowen and Middleton doing a good job. Strike 3 called. He struck him out on a pitch over the inside corner, and Bowen not happy with that call from John Brammer. I think he thought it was inside.
Now, and this one just surprises you when you're not looking for it. This is a changeup that's up in the zone. You can see the fade on it, and it's just when you've seen 2 things over and over and over again, the 4-seam fastball with a lot of spin and that tighter breaking ball, something breaking into you as a right-handed hitter, it sometimes catches you off guard. Middleton able to get a big strikeout there for out number 2.
And I'll take a 2-out base hit from Noah Franco to get the run home as he takes ball 1. Well, Franco got off to a tough start in his Horned Frog career, but he's really picked it up lately. Gotten a lot more discipline at the plate, and that last pitch is a pitch. The first couple of games we saw him swinging at pitches that looked like strikes and then just ended up in the dirt. Gets behind the catcher Odom, and racing home at the first run of the game is Isaac Cadena. So TCU takes advantage of a couple of mistakes. That should be another pass ball. And that was the ball that Odom definitely should have handled.
Yeah, this is just a heater that's down and in. Now you can see that Odom is set up outside and away, then has trying to reach across his body. Almost looked like he thought Cole Kramer was taken off, but he was not. Just a secondary lead, and that leads to the Horned Frogs' first run.
Fastball in there for a strike. Franco taking all the way. Should get a pretty good pitch to hit here. 3-1. Ball 4. That pitch missed in.
Well, and that's even a pitch 2 weeks ago the freshman takes a massive hack at. And the power is well documented. We've seen the big long home runs. And we see the first mound visit of the evening for Southern Miss. But Franco, that is a mature AB there in that situation. First inning, first time playing at home on a Friday night for a true freshman, able to take that pitch. And now you've got the starter, J.B. Middleton, up to 27 pitches now in the first inning and still working.
Yeah, last thing you want to see if you're Christian Ostrander is your starting pitcher to have a short outing on a Friday night, because that means you're taxing your bullpen right out of the gate with a lot of innings left to get over the weekend.
Yeah, especially with as much success as Middleton has had so far this year. That's not one that you budget for, a short outing on Friday night. Chase Brunson coming to the plate now has a chance to really do some damage.
Just one hit in the inning so far for the Horned Frogs. That was Cadina's base hit through the right side. TCU taking advantage of a couple of pass balls and a wild pitch as Brunson looks at strike one. Brunson with a couple of homers this year to go along with a .242 batting average. They've been hitting near the top of the order, but that one fouled over the roof on the right side. Dropped down to the number 6 spot in the lineup tonight for Kirk Saarloos and Bill Mosiello, as they tinker with things through these first games to figure out who's going to play where and what the batting order is going to look like moving forward as we get closer and closer to conference play. Elevated fastball missed to even the count, or excuse me, to run the count to 1-2. There's Kirk Saarloos looking on. Looked like a slider that broke outside.
And that's about as much depth as you'll see on that pitch. That one in at 89 miles an hour. I don't know about some of these guys. For me, the biggest challenge is the velocity difference. So when you got a firmer breaking ball like that, makes it less difficult to deal with.
Brunson fouls that one off, so it'll stay a ball a few inches short. Once it got behind him, it was at least a triple.
Yeah, this is Chase Brunson just getting caught in the middle a little bit. Absolutely tattooed back up the middle by Russo. We don't have the exit velocity in front of us, but I guarantee you that's up above 105 off the bat. You can see a little bit of hesitation when it's coming at you that hard and on that much of a line. Any bit of indecision is going to lead to trouble. Southern Miss, quite the response coming back out here for the top of the second.
First triple for Russo. The second for Southern Miss so far this season, and they've got the tying run 90 feet away. Nobody out here. First pitch swinging, that one's fouled off the left side, now to play by the designated hitter, Ben Higdon. So Russo over at third base to start the inning off with the Golden Eagles. And you're right, a terrific response for Southern Miss. Foul back to the screen, and now we'll see how Cademan Parker responds.
Now, still a lot of work left to do in this inning for Parker, but if there is a silver lining already, that's the best breaking ball we've seen from him early in this ball game.
Got him swinging on a high fastball. 95 miles an hour. And Parker climbed the ladder after a good breaking ball and got the swing and the miss.
Now, we were talking about it all first inning on the other side with J.B. Middleton, but Parker able to ride one up there above the strike zone. Force Higdon to swing right through it. That's a big first out. One step of the way there for Cademan Parker.
Coming out of the hand of a pitcher, that ball up around the letters just looks so good because you can see it so clearly. As a hitter, you just can't catch up to it. A one-out runner at third for Seth Smith, and he takes strike one. The Golden Eagle third baseman. They should get the run home. Cadino play it on the hop and take it to the bag, but Southern Miss ties the ball game up. An RBI for Smith. That's his first of the year.
Now, normally you're trying to stay away from the corners. This is a changeup that just fades away. And you see Parker knows it immediately as soon as this one's beat into the ground. Russo able to come home, and Southern Miss responding almost instantaneously, squaring this game back up at 1.
Lawson Odom, the catcher, will come up now with 2 outs and the base is empty. Takes the fastball in for ball 1. Odom just 1 for 16 through the first 9 ball games. Has been on base a handful of times besides the hits. Hit by the pitch and 3 times also walked. Up in the count here, 2 balls and a strike. 3-1 count. Parker misses up and in.
You can see a heavy dose of changeups from Parker here in this second inning. Seen a handful of good ones. This one just got away from him a little bit.
Sophomore hitting just .063. Not the guy you want to lose if you're Cademan Parker as he comes back and gets the swing and a miss and full 3-2. Ball 4, that goes all the way back to the backstop. Well, Parker with another walk. Actually, that's his first. He hit 2 batters last inning. This is the first free pass issued by Cademan Parker. A runner at first base, 2 outs, and brings back the top of the order, Joey Urban, who jumped on the very first pitch he saw from Cademan Parker and hit a 2-hopper right to third. Lays off a fastball here. It's 1-0, and Carson Bowen's going to go out and have a word with Cademan Parker. With the 0 for 1 tonight, Urban still hitting .370 for the year. Just a case of Carson Bowen trying to break the rhythm a little bit as Parker's missed a couple of times up and out of the strike zone.
Yeah, just slowing him down just a tad. This is where you get to see some of the new mental exercise that Parker's been working on for the past year.
Fouled it back. Leaving things up at a ball and a strike. Sun just setting here in Fort Worth. Getting to that time where it gets a little difficult to see balls that are above the roof line. This one's hit hard towards right field. Sawyer Strohschneider backs up.
Did not look good, but Horned Frogs certainly pleasantly surprised to see Bell back in the lineup again already.
On the outside corner for a strike. 1-2 count on the shortstop, Jack Bell, a transfer from Texas A&M, where he played some last year as a freshman. Fouled off, left side now to play. Well, we know he's got opposite field power because he hit a grand slam out in San Diego in his first at bat as a Horned Frog. Starts with that wide open stance. Pulls this one sharply. Nice play made by Montester, and he gets the out over at first base. And Montester able to retire. Bell sliding on the outfield grass.
Yeah, Bell gets a lot of this one, just a little on top of it and over into the ground. Montester doing a nice job, understands how much time that he's got. You know, watching Jack Bell get down the line there, didn't look like there was any type of hesitation or favoring one side or the other. It'll be something to watch, not only tonight, but the rest of the weekend.
1 out, base is empty. Sam Myers takes ball 1. Myers had a really good year last year at the plate. Kind of scuffling here at the beginning of this season, just 4 out of 21. Drives this one towards right field, but Easy chance for the right fielder, Pato, to make the catch. So Pato makes the grab in right field. Didn't really have to move all that much. And if there's been a Achilles heel for this lineup for the Horned Frogs over the first couple of weeks, it's been the bottom third, regardless of who's been in there. The bottom third of the TCU batting order has really been the group that struggled the most.
Yeah, they were the ones that got it done on Tuesday night against Tarleton State, though. But you're exactly right. For the majority of the year, that 7, 8, 9 spot has been the big question mark for Bill Mosiello, Kirk Sarlos, as they're filling out the lineup card. Stroh-Snyder, a really talented freshman that has been a bit slower to get off to a start than he certainly would have hoped, but has all the talent in the world.
And that's kind of evident. We were talking before the game, but you know, he's been in there almost every single ball game. He's been batting in the 9th spot or thereabouts and playing right field. We've seen Noah Franco in the right field once.
Yeah, you could see the big swing there too, and when we've seen him get extended like that, it's just been a tick late. We saw Noah Franco go through the same thing in his first couple of ball games. A lot of times it just takes one. We saw Franco connect with those 2 balls in the same inning against San Diego, turned into a completely different hitter.
You got to go all the way back to 2005 when they were conference foes. Golden Eagles lead the all-time series 12-16. The Frogs have won 5 of the last 6, but since they have not been in the same conference, they have not played one another. The first non-conference meeting between these two schools, it's all the way back in 1996. I'll tell you a funny story about the last time I was in Hattiesburg, which was in that 2005 season. The Golden Eagles hosted the conference tournament. Cut on and missed. Ozzie Pratt, the shortstop, leading off. And TCU made it to the championship game along with Tulane. Get to look at the numbers. That ball lashed towards the line. Myers has got a long way to run. He's not going to get to it as it one-hops the fence at the 325 sign. And it's a leadoff double for Ozzie Pratt. That's his 4th double of the year, and for the 2nd consecutive inning, the Golden Eagles get a leadoff extra base hit.
You know, Ozzie Pratt's been really kind of an engine for this Southern Miss offense. See, this one's away. He goes with it, not trying to do too much with a little bit of power, almost taking this out in the left field corner. It's his 4th double of the season, has a homer as well, 9 RBIs. Ozzie Pratt on base for the 2nd time tonight.
So a chance for Southern Miss to take their first lead of the night if Davis Gillespie can come up with a hit here. Nobody out. Good chance for the Golden Eagles here in the 3rd inning. Swing and a miss at that first offering from Cademan Parker. That pitch missed.
You were saying about your time in Hattiesburg.
Oh yeah, so it was the championship game, and a nasty, nasty storm rolled through Hattiesburg with tornadoes all around and big hailstones. They put the tarp on the field, but the hailstones were so big, so that one's foul back, they damaged the tarp. They actually went through the tarp. And so the tarp was like a piece of Swiss cheese, and it flooded the field. We could not play the game. So the 2 head coaches had a coin toss to see who was going to win and who was going to be runner-up in the conference tournament. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Gillespie for out number 1.
That's a big out for Cademan Parker, just challenging Davis Gillespie, the big left fielder, with a fastball that's away. This is 95 up and out. Power on power there, and Parker able to win for the first out here in the 3rd.
Carson Pato, a right fielder, at the plate. Swings through the first pitch in the finale of that story was we had to drive back to New Orleans to get a flight out of there, and tornadoes were hitting all over the place, and it was a rather interesting few hours of driving back to New Orleans. Well, Parker quickly ahead in the count here. No balls and 2 strikes on Pato, who was hit by a pitch his first time up. Carson Bowen thought they had strike 3. So did Caveman Parker, but John Brammer thought that pitch might have been a little bit low and outside.
Yeah, could not have missed by much. It's a really nice pitch there by Parker on a 1-2 count.
That's a big out if he can get it. Tries to go right back to the same spot, and again misses a little bit further away.
You really can see Caveman Parker starting to feel the secondary stuff. Breaking ball, change up, back to back.
Good at bat here by Carson Pato. He's run the count all the way out. Got him swinging. Big pitch from Caveman Parker. After the leadoff double, he's come back to strike out the next 2 batters and has a chance to wiggle off the hook here in the 3rd.
And this tells you how he feels about the changeup right now. Going to it in a situation like this where you've got to throw a strike over the plate in a 3-2 count, gets the big swing through by Pato, and another strikeout for Caveman Parker. That's up to 4 on the night. The junior really starting to take a stride here in the 3rd inning.
Nick Monaster at the plate, rips that one back through the middle and off the glove of a diving Kramer into center field. That will score the run. As coming in from second base to make it a 2-1 ball game in favor of Southern Miss is Ozzie Pratt, and that ball was smoked back up the middle.
You see Caveman Parker wanting to get a new baseball after this one. Tagged right back up the box and can't be much better on time. And fortunate enough for Parker, he gets his glove back, but that's just a great swing by Monaster, especially with 2 outs, runner in scoring position. Southern Miss able to take the lead. We talked about it coming into the ball game, Chuck. This is an offense that can be relentless. It's going to be a long weekend between these 2 teams duking it out. A couple of big swings so far back up the middle for the Golden Eagles.
Monaster picking up his 7th RBI of the year. Gives his team their first lead of the night. Runner at first base, 2 outs, and a good backdoor breaking ball. And for a strike to Matthew Russo, who put a charge into the baseball last inning. He led off the frame with a line drive that was sinking in front of Brunson. There goes the runner to second base to throw, not in time. So Monaster picks up his 2nd stolen base of the year, the 6th for Southern Miss.
Yeah, not a bad ball to throw on for Bowen, just doesn't quite get enough on it. A little in between hop for Jack Bell, but another runner out there in scoring position.
Parker just misses off the plate. Now the ball that Russo hit last inning, Brunson tried to make a diving stab, just couldn't come up with it. Once it got past him, Russo able to hightail it all the way to third base. Russo, a junior out of Madisonville, Louisiana, 6'2", 255 pounds. So he's built like a linebacker. Takes that pitch up and in, ball 4. Now put runners at first and second with 2 away. And it will also get a mound visit from Kirk Sarlos.
I think that's the right move here again. Break up the rhythm a little bit if you're Kirk Sarlos, and still in the first half of the ball game by a long shot, but one of those moments where you start thinking about the weekend as a whole as well. We were talking about on the other side as J.B. Middleton's pitch count started to get up there early on, but Caden Parker now up to 50 pitches. You get a look at how that came to be. 60% strikes so far.
They probably want it to be a little bit higher percentage than that. Kirk Sarlos back into the dugout. So far in every Caden Parker start, it's been the Parker Sloan show. The two of them have combined in each of their first 2 Friday night games. Off the end of the bat, slowly hit, going to be a tough play for Jack Bell. He's got no place to go with it once he picks up the baseball, and the bases are loaded, and that's just a tough break. It's a good pitch from Parker. Unfortunately, it was just a little dribbler to the left, on the left side here.
Yeah, starts him off with a tight breaking ball that's inside, just cued right off the end of the bat. You're exactly right. Where Bell's playing, pinched up the middle, just a shade. No play at first. Wisely, you can see Monasterio sticking right around third base. That's a play a lot of times you'll see an arm fake, get a base runner, but Southern Miss able to keep them loaded here. Give themselves an opportunity to bust this open with 2 outs.
Seth Smith grounded into a fielder's choice. Drove in a run his first time to the plate. Takes ball 1. And certainly you don't want to say in the top half of the 3rd inning it's a critical moment in the ball game, but it is a chance for Southern Miss to really do some damage here. This one's fouled out of play and put some space between them and the Horned Frogs if Smith can deliver a 2-out base hit. Runners will be off on contact, so the ball in the gap or down the lines could score all 3 of them. Ball and a strike on Colton Griffin. And grounded to second, his only time to the plate. That was leading the game off for TCU in the bottom half of the 1st inning. Pulls that one foul. Now by the far end of the Southern Miss dugout. Breaking ball, it looked like it hung, but a little late on it, fouled it back. Middleton settled down last inning, retired the side in order. This one back towards the middle and through for a base hit. A good start to the inning from TCU as Colton Griffin picks up his first hit of the night.
That's a nice job by Griffin to get enough of it. You see, this is another one of those fastballs that's up just beneath the letters. Able to catch enough to roll it back up the middle, and that's a great start to the inning for the Horned Frogs. Griffin, one of those guys that likes to run. 3 of 4 in bags so far in the young season. And Isaac Cadena coming to the plate. We talked about how good and valuable he's been for TCU thus far.
Up until that base hit by Griffin, Cadena had the only hit of the night for TCU as he takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Picked up a base hit through the right side, came around to score the first run of the game. Lays off the pitch. And I think that's been one of the more impressive things about Cadena through the first 8 ball games for the Horned Frogs, plus a couple of at-bats. He doesn't swing at a whole lot of pitches that are out of the strike zone. His strike zone discipline's pretty good.
Yeah, you can't luck into an on-base percentage over 500, and that tells you a lot about the plate discipline, the control of the bat in his hand.
This one hit well towards center field. Urban going back on it, able to make the catch. Griffin was 3/4 of the way to second base. He'll have to hurry back to the bag. Well, Cadena hit it well just to the deepest part of the ballpark.
Yeah, does a nice job of pulling the hands through. Shooting this one back up the middle. Joey Urban took a great first step on this, able to get back really with relative ease. No hesitation out there from the center fielder. One out now in the bottom half of the third inning.
First pitch fastball misses for ball one to Cole Kramer. Griffin chased back with the throw. Pitch count up to 55 now. For Middleton, he threw 33 in that first inning, though. Fouled off right side. This will make the berm. Even the count up at the ball and strike on Cole Kramer. Kramer drew a walk his first time to the plate. There goes Griffin. The pitch is taken for a ball and no chance as the ball gets away from the catcher. Not sure they would add Griffin anyway, as he got a great jump over at first base.
Yeah, fantastic first step by Griffin over there. It's been a tough go behind the dish tonight for Lawson Odom. You see the first step from Griffin over at first, just not able to corral the ball behind the plate. Horned Frogs chance to tie it up with a big hit.
Tap foul off of the plate. Griffin now 4 out of 5 in stolen bases. That's the 13th steal for TCU so far this season. A lot of room on the right side. The second baseman, Monaster, holding Griffin close. Now he backs away, but there's still a lot of real estate between him and Russo over at first base. If Kramer, who doesn't mind trying to shoot the ball to the right side, can get the barrel on the barrel on the ball and go that way, have a tie ball game. He was trying to do it there as he swings and misses, and he's down on strikes.
Yeah, this is one that Cole Kramer's going to want back. It's that tight slider that Middleton goes back to, but this one starts away, and that means you know it's going to end up even further down and out. Once you make that decision, really tough to stop the swing, though. And Middleton able to make the big pitch to get the 2 outs here.
Now take a 2-out base hit from Carson Bowen to tie the ball game up. Takes a fastball for strike one. Oh for 1 tonight for Carson. Struck out looking on a pitch over the inside corner back in the first inning. That's a good job of laying off that slider there. Similar pitch that Kramer struck out on just a moment ago. Two balls and a strike. This is where these have been the situations that TCU has struggled with a little bit so far this season. Runners in scoring position, opportunities to come up with a hit off the end of the bat, foul. Just not able to come up with that big knock that kind of gets things going.
Yeah, seems very self-explanatory, right? But the 2 losses for the Horned Frogs so far this year, the numbers with runners on, runners in scoring position have been very poor. Just not able to put together that big at bat when they needed to, or string enough good ones together where you're getting it done early in innings.
Yeah, which is certainly the other option. You know, you don't have to necessarily score a lot of runs with runners in scoring position. There's other ways of doing that. There's a strike on the outside corner. Outstanding career with the Horned Frogs before being drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals. Full count now. on Lawson Odom mentioned that he walked his first time up. He hasn't really done much offensively, just 1 out of 16 all year long. Parker in danger of giving him a couple of free passes here in his first 2 at-bats.
Yeah, he just fouled off ball 4 there. This one heading down below the zone. A gift to Caden Parker, but you're exactly right. This that part of the order that at the very least you want to make them earn their way on.
Another payoff pitch on the ground. Kramer held his ground and charged to make the play, and able to come up with a short hop and throw Odom out over at first base. That's a tough one sometimes for an infielder. It's hit right at you and you don't know whether to charge or kind of just lay back and wait for it. You're always better off going after it, but when it's right at you, it seems to be the more difficult play than if it's to your right or to your left. Top of the order, Joey Urban fouls it off. Urban coming up for the 3rd time in the game. We're only in the 4th inning. 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded to third, flown out to Stroh-Schneider in right field. Good pitch from Parker.
And you can see he's come all the way back around on the secondary stuff. Throwing that breaking ball for strikes now. Has really relied on the changeup as we've been talking about. Now 0-2, that allows you to do anything you want to.
Went back to the fastball and got the foul off the right side. It'll stay no balls and 2 strikes. There again, it's foul back.
Now the advantage that Urban has now at this point is that he's seen a little bit of everything. So nothing's going to be surprising as far as how it looks. You've just got to make sure that you're on time for the heater, but that you can react to that secondary stuff, whether it's breaking into you for a changeup or a break ball away.
Got him swinging on a good pitch by Parker. He really pulled the string that time.
And as a pitcher, a pitch like that with the big breaking ball that we've talked about, you can see the sharp break on it. Had a good one when we were in San Diego a couple of weeks ago, but really struggled with it last week at Globe Life and even through the first inning and a half or so here tonight. But for Caden Parker, that's got to feel great to have that pitch back in your arsenal.
Ozzie Pratt takes that one at his feet for ball 1. Pratt doubled Taylor Smith, as he said it did not go around. It's a ball and a strike on Noah Franco. And after that pitch in the dirt.
That's probably the best slider we've seen from Middleton so far. You see the amount of depth on that one, and the first pitch that we've seen Franco go chasing after, a night that he's been really disciplined.
Finds himself down in the count here, ball and 2 strikes, and swings through that pitch. Again, he goes with the off-speed stuff, almost against the scouting report. It said he was really going to rely more heavily on the fastball. It seems to be the slider that he's going to a little bit more here.
And you can see this is one of the tighter ones, almost more like a cutter because it's coming in at 90 miles an hour. There's a bit more depth than on your traditional cutters, and you see Franco just pulling off this one a little bit, swinging right through it.
Tap foul by Chase Brunson. Might have caught a piece of his foot as he hobbles around outside the batter's box. Oh for 1 for Brunson. Struck out his first time up. Clipped on the elbow.
A little sloppy on both sides for both Parker and Middleton relative to what we've seen from them early in this year. A lot of free bases, and up to this point it's been the Golden Eagles that have taken advantage of that just a little bit more.
all the way back to the backstop. It ricochets back to the catcher, Odom, but still no chance to throw out Brunson, who runs extremely well, and it's another wild pitch. Well, when things have gone wrong for Middleton today, they've gone way wrong. He's hit 3 guys, thrown a couple of wild pitches. Foul back as Jack Bell's looking to tie this one up with a 1-out base hit here. It's a breaking ball. The run that counts to 2 balls and a strike.
Southern Miss getting the bullpen going now too, as Middleton's up to 75 pitches here in the bottom of the 4th.
Another one in the dirt. Good eye by Bell.
He went up to 96 last week against Louisiana Tech. Went 5 innings in that one. Mentioned the 6 strikeouts he had last week. That was a career high. He's got 5 more here this evening.
Pick off out at second, but Brunson able to get back as the shortstop, Ozzie Pratt, snuck in behind him. The outfield very deep across the board for Jack Bell. This one popped up on the infield. The third baseman, Smith, calling for it, and he makes the catch. And again, J.B. Middleton able to make a pitch when he needed it.
And the struggles for Middleton so far really have come with nobody on the base paths. And if you're going to struggle in one way, you'd rather it be that. So Horned Frogs still an 0 for with runners on right now, 0 for 6. 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Sam Myers looking to break that trend. Had a nice swing on his last one. A pitch that just got in on him a shade, but lined it out to right field.
That hit him. Oh, another hit batter. The 4th. He had hit 2 coming into tonight's game, but that's the 4th one he's plunked here this evening, and that's going to get a mound visit here. As Connor mentioned, there's action in the bullpen for these. That one's on the ground, knocked down by the second baseman, no play. No chance to score. Brunson from second, but the bases are loaded with 2 outs now for the Horned Frogs.
Now Stroh-Schneider able to find first base with the infield hit, but this is massive on the defensive side by Monaster, the second baseman. This is what you call a belly play situation. You've got a runner on second base and 2 outs in the inning. As an infielder, your job is to do whatever you can to keep it on the infield. A lot of time that ends up with you being on your stomach. Monaster able to range deep in the hole on the right side to his left. Keep that ball. That saves a run right now.
Yeah, if that ball gets by him, it's a tie game for sure. And instead, the bases are loaded, and it'll take a 2-out base hit from Colton Griffin to at least tie the ball game up, or perhaps give TCU the lead. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Griffin takes it for a ball to even to count at 1-1. He had a base hit his last time up. Able to find an opening up the middle. Ball that he hit back through the box that scored it through. That one in the dirt. And Odom does a good job just to smother that. He was playing goalkeeper back there behind home plate.
And it's especially been out of the windup, which is, you see what Middleton's going to with the bases loaded here, where he's had some of those command troubles.
Couple of hit batters and an infield single here for the TCU. That one fouled out of play. It'll level the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, this is where TCU has not been able to find a way to get a big hit. Just 1 for 6 now with runners in scoring position. And the one hit, the infield hit, which didn't score a run. Fouled at the plate.
Now, sometimes that's what you got to do to stay alive there. Find a way to get back to the ball, foul it off. It's a pitch that you get beat on. And not going to be the prettiest you see there out on the front foot, but Colton Griffin just trying to stay alive.
In the dirt, and again, Odom has to smother it. Now it's a full count. So the runners will be off on the pitch. Parker goes to the backdoor slider, gets the call on the outside corner.
We talk about the job that J.B. Middleton's done, but Caden Parker doing much of the same, battling too. We saw some command issues early on, but he's found a way to get up to his season high in strikeouts with 6 of them so far. Really mixing and matching.
This is down and in here. 2 balls and a strike. Saw what Peto's done so far tonight. He's been hit by a pitch. He's also struck out. Fastball from Parker. Missed upstairs. 3 balls and a strike. And will clip the corner. That'll run the count full. It's not been comfortable for Parker tonight, but he's doing everything he can to keep his team in this ballgame. Hoping his offense can come alive. This one pulled foul. It'll end up in the Southern Miss bullpen. First of 3 games between these 2 schools. Couple of day games tomorrow, and then on Sunday 1 o'clock starts for both of them. First home weekend series for TCU. Good pitch. Up and in, got the swing and a miss. There are 2 outs. Coming to the plate, Nick Monaster drove in the go-ahead run last time up.
Well, Monaster certainly made sure that Caden Parker was awake out there on the mound, going right back up the middle with a line drive. Second baseman having a great game defensively. Also the go-ahead RBI right now for Southern Miss.
Difference in the ball game now. We're up to now, really, the play of Monaster. The base hit to give them the lead, as you mentioned, and then also keeping the runner at third base, making a diving stop bottom half of the last inning out in the field. Parker up to 80 pitches now. Beat right into the ground in front of home plate. A ball and 2 strikes on Monaster. See what he's done tonight. 1 for 2, an RBI single. He's got a stolen base. Off the end of the bat, Myers coming on, got plenty of time to run underneath and put the squeeze on it for the final out of the inning. Second 3 up and 3 down inning for Caden Parker. Well, into the bottom half of the 5th inning, 2-1, Southern Miss. Who ends up going 4 innings, allows 3 hits and a run. It was unearned. 6 strikeouts, ties a career high, 2 walks, 88 pitches total for the junior. Time is called. It looks like a pitch com dilemma, as we have seen many times over the course of the year.
That's become standard operating procedure.
A device instituted to speed up the game, which sometimes slows the game down. It looks like the technical difficulties have been remedied. First pitch to Isaac Cadena, misses for ball one. 92-mile-an-hour fastball that time from the righty, Colby Allen. Cadena fouls it back to the screen. Isaac Cadena has a base hit. He scored the only run of the game thus far for the Horned Frogs. Also flown out to straightaway center field. You see the numbers for the season. 3 home runs for Cadena, leads the league, or leads the team rather. That comes up nicely for Monaster, and he makes the easy play over at first base for the first out of the inning.
Now, 3 good swings for Cadena so far tonight, but only 1 knock to show for it. Tagged one out to center field in his second at bat. This one's hit hard just right at the second baseman, Monaster, who really has been a vacuum over there. Horned Frogs still trying to find some way to put something together now.
Cole Kramer will be the batter. Pitch to look to have the plate. The fastball might have been down a little bit. 0 for 1 with a walk for Kramer. He struck out his last time to the plate. Walk back in the first. Up in the count 2-0 here as he's taking 2 fastballs just off the plate. That fastball right on the corner. Once it counts to 2-1. 92-93 so far from Colby Allen. Another strike.
I've seen all sorts of different outfield positioning against Cole Kramer since the opening weekend fireworks in San Diego. A lot of power the other way. There is a massive gap in right center field right now.
In the dirt, full count.
You've got the right fielder, Pato, who's playing, shifted well over towards the right field line. Center fielder, Joey Urban, playing straight up center. Kramer takes anything over the second baseman, Monaster's head. He's going to be running for a while.
Fouled it back and almost looked like he was trying to shoot the ball that way. Full count on Kramer, who's seen a steady diet of fastballs here in this at bat. Gets a breaking ball. That missed down and in, and it's a 1-out walk for Cole Kramer.
That's a nice job of not pulling the trigger on that one. Sometimes that slider down, especially in a full count, new arm that you haven't seen yet. Very easy to pull the trigger on that swing over the top, but Kramer puts himself on base.
And Carson Bowen will be the batter against Colby Allen here. Another runner on for the Horned Frogs. They've been able to get guys on base. They just haven't been able to get them all the way around. There's a strike to Bowen. Carson 0 for 2. Struck out in the first, grounded sharply to second his last time up. Fouls that one well off the right side now to play. That'll be down by the party patios. Tried to sneak a breaking ball by him, but missed low and away.
And you can see with Lawson Odom jumping way outside into the left-handed batter's box, just trying to extend the zone on Bowen there.
Looped into left field. That's a base hit. Going first to third on the play is Cole Kramer. Big turn by Bowen over at first, and he'll put on the brakes.
Yeah, Carson Bowen's freshman campaign, when he was so successful, he was so good at going down in the strike zone to get pitches. You see him lean over, make the adjustment, and able to line this one into left center field. And finally, for the first time tonight, if you're in the Horned Frog dugout, it looks like you've got a little something going offensively as we've gotten into the middle portion of this game. Have to give credit to the starter, J.B. Middleton, for really calming everything down when the Horned Frogs did have runners on bases. But now, again, another opportunity. Can you come through in this type of situation?
And that's going to be a block on the pitcher, Allen, as he caught a spike. And the game will be tied. So both the TCU's runs coming without the benefit of a hit.
Yeah, sometimes it's going to happen in the game, and for Southern Miss, it just happens at the worst possible time. Horned Frogs really taking advantage of some of those mistakes.
And now with Noah Franco with a chance to give TCU the lead back that they held early in the game as he takes high, ball one.
Yeah, now that you got the crowd into it a little bit, you've got the ball game tied up. If he gets a pitch in the strike zone that starts maybe middle in, running back over the plate, he's taking a big hack.
There it was. He came up empty on an off-speed pitch that was down in the dirt.
Oh, that just hurts my oblique to watch.
He doesn't get cheated.
We've seen what happens when he connects with it.
On the ground, big hop for the shortstop, Pratt. He'll throw to first for the out. Carson Bowen will move over to third on the ground out. But now they're two away.
Just a shade on top of this one. If he waits a tad longer, he's got a chance to shoot this through the 6-hole on the left side.
Well, TCU looking for a two-out base hit here. Brunson started and stopped, but caught a piece of it. Nothing in one. Brunson hit
Secondary stuff, but as he got into the third, fourth, and fifth innings, picking up his fifth, sixth, and seventh strikeouts, able to go to that changeup and the breaking ball and get a ton of swings and misses on it. Parker really settling in, gave his team an opportunity to tie this ball game up, which they've done. Going to be a great one down the stretch here tonight.
82 pitches for Parker, gives up the 2 earned runs. Leaves with a no decision here tonight. Matt Russo will lead things off against Braden Sloan as we start the top half of the 6th inning. Good pitch from Sloan for strike one. Russo's found his way on base twice tonight. Had the big triple after TCU had taken a 1-0 lead. That came leading off the 2nd inning, eventually scored to tie the game up, and then in the 3rd, he drew a walk out as far as second base. Left stranded there, so a good night so far for first baseman Matt Russo. Sloan misses down and away, it's 2-1. Now, the one thing we've seen from Sloan so far this year is he's come on and just thrown strikes and done a nice job out of this TCU bullpen. We talked about it at the top of the broadcast, or close to the top of the broadcast. In almost every one of Caedmon's starts this year, this has been the formula. You know, Parker for 5 or 6, and then Braden Sloan cut on and missed.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the formula plays tonight, though, because normally what it is you've got a right-hander whose fastball's up to 95, 96 miles an hour and will pitch off that fastball. But we saw Caedmon really shift to pitching off of the secondary stuff. Normally that's the MO of Braden Sloan. We'll see how he settles in here in the middle innings.
Leadoff walk to Matt Russo's on base for the 3rd time in the game. Another left-hander coming up. Ben Higdon, the DH, will bat here against Sloan with a runner at first base, nobody out. And TCU able to get the score tied in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Do not want to see that the lead go back to Southern Miss right away. Sloan misses outside for a ball and hasn't quite gotten the feel for that breaking ball yet.
Yeah, and you can see everything's missing to that glove side, pulling on a couple fastballs, especially these left-handed hitters.
Bunted towards the mound. Sloan picks it up. He'll go to first for the out, but the sacrifice successful as it moves the runner into scoring position. Sloan never even looked at second base. He just took the out.
Yeah, it's a tie game like this, not one where you want to get overly aggressive if there's any question. This one's deadened enough by Ben Higdon that he's able to force Sloan to go to first base. So now it'll be Southern Miss again. Another opportunity with a runner in scoring position here. Another left-handed hitter that Sloan will have to contend with as he tries to settle into this outing 8 pitches in.
Seth Smith at the plate takes a strike. Sloan might have had a play out at second base, but when the ball was hit to the first base side, he would have had to spin all the way around in order to even attempt that throw.
Yeah, no way you throw that ball to second. Just given the way that ball came off the bat softly. If it's bunted back to you, straight to you firm, that's when you've got the opportunity to do it as a pitcher. It's one of those as well. If you're going to go to second, you better be sure and not have any question.
Smith has an RBI. Came on a fielder's choice back in the 2nd inning. At the time it tied the game up. He's also struck out. Sloan just not as crisp as we've seen him yet in this game.
And normally what he'll do is he'll come in and really establish that fastball, as any pitcher would, but especially somebody that pitches so heavily off of his secondary stuff.
There's a strike, and Smith thought it was low and outside, was headed down to first base. Instead, he'll see a 3-2 pitch coming up. And there's ball 4, 1 pitch later. Second walk in the inning, and here comes Kirk Sarlos out of the TCU dugout.
Not the start that Sloan wants to the inning, but I have to think that he's going to be thrilled to see a right-handed hitter in Lawson Odom coming to the plate. Has not looked settled with that string of 3 left-handers at the dish, and that fastball's really just been shooting across the plate.
Yeah, it's interesting, you know, you think, well, it's a lefty-lefty matchup, it benefits him, but Sloan has a little bit of problem, you know, banging that fastball on the inside corner to left-handers, which is why it leaks out over the plate or off.
Because he likes to come in from the angle like that. So now you'll see those same pitches that were running away across the plate to those left-handed hitters are now going to be shooting in on the right-handed hitting Lawson Odom. So Sloan can start it out there and flirt with that now outside corner, the arm side of the plate for him, and not have to worry about a hit batter.
9-hole hitter catcher Lawson Odom at the plate, takes the pitch in the dirt, and a good stop by Carson Bowen. Oh for 1 with a walk for Odom. He walked in the second, grounded to Kramer last time to the plate, and heavy shift on the right side against Odom here as Cadina's way in the hole. There's a strike, and a generous strike call at that from John Brammer. But Cadina is actually playing almost where the second baseman would normally play. And Kramer's cheating up the middle in this defensive alignment for the Horned Frogs here. Backdoor breaking ball missed up high. He really took something off that pitch.
Yeah, and that's the changeup. That's the A pitch that he wants to go to.
Here's the 2-2 coming. With the foul ball as he again went soft. Odom just able to get a piece of it. Might have been a ball that was up, but Odom couldn't afford to take a chance with 2 strikes on him. Full count.
You see that breaking ball just getting released a little bit early, not able to snap it off. 3-2 right-handed hitter, would not be surprised to see him go back to the changeup here.
See what he does. Foul back. Here's a changeup. A pretty good pitch, but Odom up to the task of fouling it into the crowd to keep the at-bat alive, and he'll see another 3-2 pitch here. With runners at first and second, just 1 out. And again, this one shot foul to the berm on the right side. If you're thinking about the double play ball, TCU's turned 6 of them this year. Strike 3 called. He struck him out, and Odom knew it. It just froze him at the plate, and a good comeback for Braden Sloan.
Yeah, that's the challenge with Sloan. The pitch prior that Odom fouls off is a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and that's what you've got to be on time to hit. When he floats 79 up there from the exact same arm slot, exact same action, when you don't see it's the velocity that you're expecting, a lot of times the reaction is it just freezes you. That's what we see a lot with Braden Sloan. That's what he gets here for the big second out of this 6th.
Still not out of trouble, though, as he has to face the top of the order here, Joey Urban. Throw out to second base, and they almost had him. Kramer thought he got the tag in there ahead of the hand of Matt Russo, but no call from the second base.
And you can hear Lupton Stadium starting to come alive a little bit. Jack Bell getting things started. Gets a breaking ball that's just hung up in the zone. When you see it pop out of the hand like that, your eyes can get real big as a hitter. Bell able to line that one through the right side, get things going for TCU, trying to take a lead, first time since the 1st inning.
Let's see how TCU plays it. Sam Myers will be the batter. Bill Mosiello, not one to bunt very often, will bring it out from time to time. And if you're going to do it, this is a guy who can drop down a bunt and even drop down a bunt for a hit. Squares here and tries to stab at it. Fouled it off. Myers taking a look at Bill Mosiello. Myers 0 for 1, flew out to right field, hit by a pitch his last time up. Again, shows bunt. This time gets the bunt down the third base line. The throw to first is in time to get the out, but a good bunt as it moves the go-ahead run in the scoring position.
Now, can't do this much better if you're Sam Myers. See, this is a bunt for a hit. It's not a sacrifice, but with where Seth Smith is playing way in on the infield grass, no chance to really beat that out. Exactly what they're looking for. Jack Bell moves up into scoring position. Sawyer Stroh-Snyder, Colton Griffin, when the lineup flips over, have an opportunity to take this lead.
Stroh-Snyder rips it into right field for a base hit. Bell got a late start. He's going to have to hold at third. Well, runners at first and third, and back-to-back hits for Stroh-Snyder, who had an infield single his last time up, and maybe the young freshman's finally starting to figure it out here.
Yeah, we've seen it with the swings over the last couple of ball games. This is a breaking ball that he sees, and he's on time for it. Doesn't waste any time. Stays extended all the way through, and you know, it's a bad read by Jack Bell going back on this, trying to make sure that ball goes all the way through, but that's one that you know is not going to be caught if you know where the defensive alignment is being played. This ball's hit hard enough, he probably gets held up at third base anyways.
Colton Griffin takes a strike. Well, Nick Monasterio has made a couple of great plays over at second base, and I'm sure Bell was thinking, is he going to get to this one too? 1 for 3 for Griffin. Had a single in the third. Takes that pitch up high. And out for your Colton Griffin, the one thing you don't want to do is hit a ground ball to one of the middle infielders here that could result in an inning-ending double play. If nothing else, try to get a ball you can elevate to the outfield to score the go-ahead run. 2-1 count on Griffin. And Colton can handle the bat pretty well. Also runs pretty good, so laced foul over the head of Bill Mosiello and into the party patio area down the third base line. You got to be on your toes down there. They come at you pretty quick. No net guarding you down there. 2-2 count now on Griffin. Again, it's fouled. That almost hit Cadena.
Yeah, very interesting too with the shift that's being played right now. You've got the shortstop Pratt almost all the way up the middle. Griffin has proven that he's liable to go the other way. That left side of the infield looking real good if you're Colton Griffin right now.
Cadena diving at it away.
That's one will get talked about later.
There goes the runner. The throw down to second is wild, and it kicks into center field, and TCU is going to score the go-ahead run. A throwing error on the catcher, Odom, as that ball was tailing back towards right field. Monasterio was covering, had no chance to make a play on this.
And you see this throw just goes right into Sawyer Strohschneider, who's taken off. Southern Miss electing to throw through here, which is interesting with the go-ahead run over there on third. Now they'll bring the infield in, trying to protect against another.
This one's in the air to center field. Drifting towards left center is the center fielder, Urban. He makes the catch, tagging is Strohschneider, and he'll race home with the 4th run of the game for the Horned Frogs. And for the first time all night, TCU is able to convert their chance.
And this is what the offensive system is intended to do. If you're the Horned Frogs, you get men on early in the innings, and when you're able to stack together quality at bats back to back to back, you're able to put up a couple runs in a hurry. Colton Griffin poking this one out there. Strohschneider, who's worked his way around the bases, able to come around. And I'll tell you what, this sequence, the best that the freshman has looked for the Horned Frogs as well, down in the 9-hole.
Pitch is taken outside by Cadena. First RBI of the year for Colton Griffin. You know, a couple of hits. TCU taking advantage of an error, coming up with a sacrifice fly, and they now have a 2-run lead. That one off the facing of the roof and kicks all the way down to the first row. Got to be alert down there too. When the ball goes over your head, sometimes they come straight back down off the roof. Cadena takes strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes on Cadena, who has a base hit tonight. He's 1 for 3. A lone base hit coming in the first inning. Right in front of him, he got the ball and then realized my only chance is to tag the runner. It's a nice job by Isaac Cadena.
Well, and that's Isaac Cadena learning fast and being adaptable in the field here. These two had a couple of tough exchanges in Globe Life last week where there was some confusion and miscommunication. Braden Sloan thought that Cadena was taking it, vice versa, where plays and outs were missed. This time, Isaac Cadena, the first baseman, taking charge and taking it himself, able to retire.
Davis Gillespie takes strike 1. Gillespie 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Reached on a fielder's choice way back in the first inning. And Sloan's got it dialed in a little bit better here in his second inning of work. Tried to backdoor him there. The ball and 2 strikes on Gillespie. Pretty good pitch. Gillespie did a good job just to get a piece of it to keep the at-bat alive here and keep the count at a ball and 2 strikes. It'll be Tommy Lepore on the mound for the Horned Frogs tomorrow. That pitch is fouled. And he will take on Cross Sivley. 1 o'clock start here at Lupton Stadium, and in the finale, Trevor Baumler will take the ball for the Horned Frogs but a to-be-determined starter for Southern Miss in that ball game. That one fouled off. No ball and 2 strikes. Gillespie doing a good job here of spoiling a couple of good pitches from Sloan and stay in this at bat. Another pitch that he gets off the fist, just enough to keep the at bat alive again. And Kirk Sarlos told his ball club before the game that Southern Miss is going to compete till the very last out. They are not going to give in at any one point. And Gillespie, indicative of that, as he's now worked the count to 2-2.
You see 2-2, and after a string of changeups, Sloan goes to the breaking ball just to give Gillespie another look here. Wouldn't be shocked if Sloan goes right back to it, though.
See what he dials up on the 2-2 pitch. Way out in front of the changeup. But again, Gillespie doing just enough to stay alive. Another 2-2, and again it's fouled off. These changeups just a little bit elevated, and that's why Gillespie's able to make contact with them.
Yeah, you almost wonder when he's going to show a fastball here to break up this string, surprise him with a little bit of velocity.
That one just coming in at 77 miles an hour. There it is. Strike called on the fastball, and he froze Gillespie. Are you sure you're not calling the pitches from up here?
Believe me, if I could guess this well, I may still be playing. It's amazing what a little just outside perspective and just watching a little bit will do.
Yeah, it's certainly a lot easier up here than down there. Now, 2 outs. In for a strike.
I wouldn't still be playing. I get sore going up and down the stairs now.
Carson Pato at the plate. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. 1-1 the count on Pato. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly age catches up to you. Cut on and missed. I saw you and John Delore making fun of my belly this afternoon when I was standing down there and we were all talking.
Me?
Yeah, you
oh,
guys were
I was not. I was not.
fun.
I was not involved in that.
Yeah, that's all right. Wait till you get to my age. That pitch is low. No matter how much you ride the bike, doesn't seem to be taking it off there.
We'll actually have to talk about this. 'Cause I genuinely was not involved.
That was just Delora making fun of you?
Yes.
0 for 2. Pato hit by a pitch earlier in the game. Hitting by Cole Kramer.
And you can see it's starting to get a little contagious for this TCU lineup as well, being out hit by the Golden Eagles for most of tonight. We just covered the 6th inning, and now Cole Kramer continuing that, spraying this one the other way. We've talked about the opposite field power, but showing he can go that way with contact as well. The senior Kramer getting things going here in the 7th.
Carson Bowen will be the batter. After time was called by first base umpire Tim Cordell. Bowen 1 for 3 at a base hit earlier in the game. Lines it right to the 3rd, and Bowen couldn't have hit it any harder than he just did, but he hit it right to Seth Smith.
There's been a couple of hard hit balls that have resulted in outs. This is another one here. You see Bowen go out and get it. Needed just a couple more feet of launch angle on this one. Get it down the line, but Seth Smith playing right there. He's played a good defense at third base tonight.
Noah Franco at the plate. Takes a strike. Franco walked his first time up. That was all the way back in the 1st inning. Since then, he has struck out and grounded to short. Still waiting for that big home run here at Lupton Stadium. It's only the 2nd game played here, though.
I think it's fair to say, though, still waiting.
Yep.
It's just a matter of time. Big shift on the infield now. Now Seth Smith's going right back across.
Yeah.
He's just getting the airstream going back and forth across the country right now.
Yeah, he is. Back over to third base, and I think that was probably a wise decision. I mean, Franco, all he would have to do is basically drop the ball down the third base line. He would have got an easy infield hit with the way they were playing him before Smith went back to third. And on top of that, had he done that, the runner from first, Kramer, would have went all the way to third because there was nobody on that side of the infield. Swing and a miss. And we've seen a couple of swings from Noah Franco tonight, reminiscent of his first game or two, where he was swinging at pitches that were down and out of the strike zone, just trying to yank them out of the ballpark. Pulled sharply, but foul down the first base line. And I'm waiting for Noah Franco to hit one like he did in San Diego to see how far it lands. There could be some damaged cars going by out on Bel Air. Just missed. Franco was frozen, and I think John Brammer, the home plate umpire, might have been fooled on that pitch as well.
Yeah, it's a really bold pitch by Colby Allen going down and in. This one is just a little bit inside.
Goes right back to the same spot. That one looked to be over the plate, perhaps below the knees, however. John Brammer not snapping up the right hand on either of those two pitches. And now it's a full count on Noah Franco. There goes the runner. This pitch is hit in the air to right field. Pato coming on. He's got plenty of time to camp underneath it and make the catch. The crowd got excited for a moment, but that one was sky high. Now 2 outs as Franco heads back to the dugout. Colby Allen trying to work around a 1-out single here, or a leadoff single rather. He's got to deal with Chase Brunson first. Brunson rips this one towards the gap in left center field. That ball's going to get down and off the wall. Kramer rounding third and being waved home. He'll score standing up, and TCU has taken a 5-2 lead on the RBI.
Up to 6 strikeouts on the night for him has really gotten the Golden Eagles off balance. TCU offense starting to play better. Kirk Sarlos and the rest of the TCU coaching staff has to be happy with what they've seen over this last 3 innings.
Yeah, Sloan struck out 5 straight now. Sam Myers starts things off for the Horned Frogs and takes the strike. He gave up that walk in the 6th inning to Seth Smith, which set up a couple of men on base, but boy, has he looked good since then. And we talked about it in between last inning. TCU finally starting to get their offense going, coming up with some big hits with runners in scoring position. Sam Myers 0 for 1, hit by a pitch tonight. He's hit the ball hard. Had a good sacrifice bunt his last time up. Sends this one the opposite way. Long throw by the shortstop Pratt, but he's able to get it over in plenty of time. When Myers is going well, he will hit the ball the other way quite often.
Yeah, it seems like it's just a matter of time. The at-bats, again, similar to Sawyer Strohsnyder, who's coming up to the plate now, are starting to get better. Contact starting to get firmer for Myers. Really a gap-to-gap guy. Line drives all over the field.
Strohsnyder having his best night as a Horned Frog. He's got 2 hits tonight. He's 2 for 3. Couple of singles. He scored a run. Stolen a base. Man, he's starting to spit on a couple of these pitches that he was swinging at earlier this year. Like that one that was down. Starts out of the hand, looks pretty good. That one fouled off.
Yeah, when you don't get off to the start that you want over the first few ball games, and then human nature, you're going to stare at the scoreboard and see an average that's not reflective of anything that you've done in your career to this point. Strohsnyder, a prolific player in high school. It's very easy to press a little bit. You start to chase, start to try and create too much. And what we see now, it looks to be playing a little bit more free. You talk about this being his best game all around.
Two pitch. Struck him out looking. Good fastball from Allen. And there are 2 gone. That just kind of froze him.
The Horned Frogs have obviously reclaimed the lead in this ball game after a big last few innings. And you just talked about, though, the combination of Caden Parker and Braden Sloan. J.B. Middleton and Colby Allen doing much of the same here. And outside of really just a couple of big hits that the Horned Frogs have been able to string together, this game's been tooth and nail. Allen doing a nice job with that 2-seam fastball running back over the plate.
Pitch off the plate for ball 1 to Colton Griffin, the TCU leadoff hitter. Well, about what you would expect from 2 ranked teams to start a weekend series with their Friday night starters on the hill.